Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you guys are new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications. I would like to give a special thanks to Lorenzo Ford for providing with the Ford F-250. If you're in the market for a Ford, you can come check out Lorenzo Ford and ask for Gene. He will get you into a new or pre-owned vehicle. But let's talk about the F-250 here. Looking at the front styling here of the Ford F-250, I do like this large, aggressive look that this pickup truck offers. It also gives you that king of the road look here because this vehicle also has a 2-inch lift from the factory. Looking at these taillights here, they're going to be a full LED with an automatic low and high beam, with an LED turn signal and an LED daytime running. I also like the black grille here with the dark blue exterior paint. And I like that Ford has the Super Duty stamped here in the actual hood of the vehicle. And this hood, once it's open, is very large. Keep in mind, guys, I'm only 5'8". Like I mentioned, this does have a 2-inch lift from the factory, and this can forward around 33 inches of water. I like the blacked out Ford emblem here. There's a front facing camera. There's also these black recovery hooks here because you can also take this vehicle off-roading if you like. And my model also comes with full LED fog lights here. But making our way to the side profile here of the Ford F-250, looking at these tires, I do like this gloss black finish here. This is a 285/75. They're wrapped in these Goodyear Wrangler tires, so pretty good tires on the market here. And the tread of these tires are very aggressive. Like I mentioned, there's that 2-inch lift from the factory. There's the Lariat F-250 here on the actual side, and this is going to be functional to extract some of that heat from that 6.7 liter Power Stroke V8. There's the 6.7 liter Power Stroke badge here. There's also these power sliding mirrors here. I like the gloss black on top of the mirror cap there. There's also this LED side marker, and this does turn into a light, so if you guys were off-roading in a dark area, it will light up. So you can basically light up that trail. There's this keypad here, so you guys can put your code in if you wanted to lock your key, just in case you wanted to go off-roading or basically go do some water sports. This is how you lock the vehicle via this pad here. And Ford puts a sensor behind the door handle. We'll talk about that once we get inside the interior. There's also this metal step here to get inside this big old pickup truck. And above, there's this large panoramic sunroof to let light into the cabin. But making our way to the rear here, how you doing? Making our way to the rear here of the Ford F-250, there's the Tremor badge here. Looking at these taillights, they're going to be a full LED with an LED turn signal, brake light, and reverse light. And this does house the blind spot monitoring as well. There's the Super Duty name stamped on back of the tailgate here. There's a LED light there. So like I mentioned, you can turn on the zone lighting if you guys wanted to light up that trail. There's a 7 and 4 pin connector here with LED lights for the tag. There's rear parking sensors. There's this large tow hitch here, and underneath here there's going to be a spare tire there. And I like that Ford actually gives you a spare tire that matches the actual tire of the vehicle, and you get around 10.3 inches of ground clearance. And on this side, it's going to be a dual exhaust trim there. But open up the bed here. This does have a power opening bed here. It's also damped as well. I do like the spray-on bed here. There's also LED lights back here. There's even some ports back here that you guys can connect some stuff to with the tie-down hooks as well. And you can also put some tracks back here if you would like for aftermarket. Overall, I'm very impressed. And before I forget, there's also this step here that you push this button there, and the handle comes out so you can get into the bed, which is very simple. As you guys can see, I'm inside the bed here, which is really nice. And this bed is about 6.5 foot here, so you guys can put plenty of stuff in the back of the F-250. Before hopping into the interior of the Ford F-250 with the Tremor package here, looking at the key fob, this does have the traditional Ford key fob. It does have Ford on the back of the key fob. There's a lock unlock with a remote start, also with a tailgate button and a panic button. But to activate the remote start, just lock the vehicle. You hit this twice. As you guys can hear, you hear that 6.7 liter Power Stroke V8 come to life. But to open up the door, Ford puts a sensor behind the door handle here, or you can use the keypad there once you set your code. But open up the door here, you guys are greeted by this large interior here. I do like the black interior in here. But looking down here, guys, it does have Super Duty stamped on the actual door sill here. And there's these metal side step here. But to get into this big old pickup truck here, Ford gives you this grab handle here. Keep in mind, guys, I'm only 5'8", but shutting the door here, and to take the vehicle out of its remote start mode, just put your foot on the brake and press the stop button right here. Once you do that, my apologies, I have the AC blowing because it's like 100 degrees outside. But looking at the materials here in the F-250, there's gonna be a nice soft touch material. There's this wood like trim here. It is auto up, auto down. just for the front windows here, but not for the rear windows. You can also extend the mirrors out. They're going to be a power operating mirror here, so if you guys have a big large camper or a boat, you can basically extend these mirrors here instead of doing it manually, which I think is a nice touch. I think the other competitors have it manual but not power operating. There's this lighting here, so if you guys are in a dark area, you can press this button here. It will have a spotlight on the side of the mirror. Down here is going to be 3-person memory seat with the lock and unlock controls here. There's this aluminum painted trim here. This is how you open the door here, just like on the F-150. And the door has a pretty solid sounding slam. Looking down here is going to be additional storage and cup holder space. This also has adjustable pedals, so if you guys short like myself, as you guys can see, the pedals are moving towards me, but if you're tall, you can move the pedals away from you. There's also this button here to let down the lift gate. There's a electronic parking brake. It's manually operated as well. This is a power tilt and telescoping wheel. I think the other competitors don't even offer a power operating wheel here. My model also has 3-level heated and cooled seats. The cool seats work phenomenal, especially in this 90-degree weather. The push button start is right here. This does have a 2-high, 4-high, 4-low, and also a locking diff, so you guys can take this vehicle off-roading if you would like. This is an 8-inch display, as you guys can see here. It does support Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Let's go here to the Ford infotainment system here. This is the older Sync 3 instead of the Sync 4 that you get in the new F-150. As you guys can see, the touch response here is really snappy. Looking here at the Ford embedded navigation, I think the model does not have that feature, if I'm not mistaken. No, it does not have it because it's basically sending me back to the Apple Maps, but the Apple Maps does take up the complete screen here. Over is the automatic high beam switch with the turn signal. Then the wind wiper stock is right here because my model does have this good old column shifter here. So if you guys love column shifters, the F-250 does offer that. There's a top-down 360 view here. There's trajectory with distance markers. There's front and rear parking sensors. Putting it down here to drive and doing it again to go into manual mode. This does have a 10-speed automatic transmission, co-developed with Chevy, of course. Over here is for the diesel exhaust brake. There's also the stability control there with the hazard switch. There is a hill descent control here with the lane keeping assist. You can also access the cameras if you would like. It does show you a front facing camera. Over is going to be some hard buttons here. There's these big knobs here for the volume and tune. Down here is going to be dual climate control. Like I mentioned, there's 3-level heated and cooled seats. There's your brake controller here. There's also your trailer backup. So once you guys have your trailer hitched up here, you can switch it left or right to engage the backup trailer feature. I like the wood trimming here. I think it's fake if I'm not mistaken, but it does look really nice. There's a wireless phone charger there. There's a Type-C with the USB port. My iPhone 12 Pro Max does fit in there just fine. You can close this off if you don't want to see where your phone is at. Looking here, there's a large storage area. As you guys can see, my keys are in there, also with my camera equipment and whatnot. There's 2 cup holders here. There's a 12-volt with a household outlet right there. I like that Ford has Super Duty stamped here on the actual glove compartment. Nice high quality stitching and leather here on the dashboard, even on top of the instrument panel here. This vehicle also has a great commanding view of the road. This vehicle makes you feel like you're king of the road. You can also open up this sliding rear glass back there via this control here. There's also a sunglass holder here. There's 6 auxiliary ports here, so you can basically add some aftermarket stuff like aftermarket winch and whatnot. There's LED lights throughout the cabin in here. You can also close the shade back from this large panoramic sunroof here, which is really nice. Chevy is the only one that doesn't offer a large panoramic sunroof as of this filming. So if you guys want that feature, you have to look at the Ram or this F-250 here. Nice stitching on the center armrest. Open up this, it does reveal a lot of storage in there. There's a 12-volt in here. You can also remove this tray. You can't put a large purse in here, so if your wife wanted to borrow this F-250 for today, she can definitely put a purse inside there. The seats in here, they're supportive, they're comfortable. I like the way that they look and feel. Like I mentioned, the cool seats are fantastic. Looking at the glove compartment here, Ford does give you this separate compartment here. There's a little bit of storage in there, but you can put a couple items in there if you like. Looking at the glove compartment here, it does offer a large storage in there, as you guys can see. It's also a 2-level storage. But overall, I'm very impressed with this large interior, but let's hop into the back seat of the F-250. Getting into the back seat here of the Ford F-250, as you guys can see here, the door opens nice and wide, and my model also comes equipped with these running boards here, so you can get into this big old pickup truck here. But before hopping into the back seat here, Ford gives you this underfloor storage here, and lifting up the seat here, as you guys can see, it does come with this lockable storage, so you can put your valuables in here if you would like, so you can put your work tools and whatnot to keep it out of sight. And you can also lock this back, like I mentioned, so it's lockable storage. And unfortunately, you cannot pull the seat down like I lifted up with one hand. You have to grab the strap here in order to take it out of its lock position. But once you do that, the seat will fold nice and flat here. But getting inside the back seat of the Ford F-250, keep in mind, guys, I'm only 5'8", and this vehicle is very tall. So Ford does give you these running boards with this grab handle. So if you guys are short like myself, you can get into this big old pickup truck here. But getting back here, honestly, I feel very comfortable, and I do have a lot of headroom here, even with this panoramic sunroof cutout. Above me is going to be LED lights throughout the cabin with this hook here to put a coat or whatnot. Looking over here is going to be 2 map pockets for storage. There's rear air vents back here. There's 2 level heated seats. I wish Ford would offer cool seats, but there's a USB-C with a USB port. There's also a 12-volt here with a household outlet. The floor back here is flat, and Ford says you get around 43.6 inches of legroom, which is a lot of legroom. So if you guys wanted to enjoy a long road trip, you can definitely do that. But looking at the door panel materials, it's going to be a nice soft touch material. But shutting the door here, there's this wood trim here. I don't think it's a real wood, I think it's a fake wood, but it does look really nice here with the black. There's also your window switches here. There's going to be additional storage with more storage and cup holder space down here as well. There's this nice view of the panoramic sunroof. There's also this power sliding rear glass. So if you guys wanted to open up this, you have to ask the driver or the passenger to do that. Like I mentioned, that switch is right up there above the driver and passenger. Pulling this armrest down here, it does reveal 2 cup holders, and it does feel very nice and padded here. And also these seats feel very supportive and comfortable as well. But overall, I'm very impressed with the F-250's interior space back here in the back seat. Taking a look underneath the hood here, the Ford F-250 with the Tremor package. Keep in mind, guys, I'm only 5'8". As you guys can see, once the hood is open, it's so hard for me to grab the hood here because it opens, and this vehicle is very tall. But looking here at this engine, this is Ford's 6.7 liter diesel engine. This makes 475 horsepower and 1,050 pound-feet of torque at a very low RPM because it's a diesel powertrain. Of course, you guys know with diesels, you have really good towing capabilities, as the F-250 sits here, weighs around 7,105 pounds. This also has a max payload of 3,100 pounds. If you guys want to know the fuel economy, unfortunately, the government does not rate the actual fuel economy for these large trucks here. But keep in mind, I have seen some other reviews here, and some people average around 12 to 15 miles per gallon. So starting off in the 2021 Ford F-250 with the Tremor package here, visibility, guys, is just freaking fantastic. You feel like the king of the road because this vehicle is just so tall, and it's really wide, so you can fit 3 people across in the back seat. This also has 3 level heated and cooled seats, which I really appreciate right now because it's like 90 degrees outside and South Florida is really hot. And let's talk about the fuel economy. Unfortunately, Ford does not rate fuel economy for the F-250 because this vehicle is just so large. And my model does have the 6.7 liter turbo diesel, which makes 450 horsepower and 1,050 pound-feet of torque. So this has most torque in the segment, if I'm not mistaken. I think the Ram doesn't offer that much pound-feet of torque, or the Chevy. I think Chevy makes around 910 pound-feet of torque, which is basically, the Ford blows that out of the water when it comes to the torque numbers. But the horsepower, I think Chevy might have a slight edge over this F-250, if I'm not mistaken. The visibility, like I mentioned, is really good. You also have lane keeping assist with forward collision warning. Also, you have plenty of cameras, as you guys can see. There's a top-down 360 view here. You also have a forward-facing camera, so this vehicle can basically go off-road if you would like. And the tires are here on this vehicle is really good as well. Also, Ford, this interior looks really nice, but for the 2022 model, is going to have a larger screen, which is a 12-inch display. This is an 8-inch display here, but it does support Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. The materials in here, of course, you guys know Ford materials, really nice materials to touch. Also, like this large steering wheel here. As you guys can see, this car in front of me is a PT Cruiser, and legit, I am hovering over the car because this truck is just so damn big. And like I mentioned, this thing makes over 1,000 pound-feet of torque. And once you get on it just a little bit, you do feel the torque. Basically, it kind of shoves you in the seat a little bit because this thing does have a red line around 4,000 RPM. So the torque is very low because it's a diesel powertrain. You're gonna basically use this vehicle to tow, which this vehicle is really good at doing, of course, because this vehicle is so large. This is one of the largest pickup trucks that I drove so far on the channel. I haven't drove the Chevy or a Ram 2500 or whatever the other competitors call it, but here in the F-250, the seats in here, they're supportive, they're comfortable. I like the way that they feel. You can also lock the center diff. There's a 2 high, 4 high, and 4 low here. So you can basically take this truck off-roading if you would like. But you have to find some really wide trails because this vehicle is very big, guys. Like legit, I'm like 5'8", and I feel like I'm the king of the road. Like all these other vehicles around me are small. Like this previous generation of the Ford F-150 looks like a car compared to how big this truck is. The space in the back is plentiful. You can put your family back there. You can make this a family vehicle if you would like. You have plenty of leg room, plenty of features in the back, which has heated seats. So Ford did throw some nice materials and stuff in this vehicle as well. And if you guys love diesels, you can hear a little bit of that clatter once you put your foot to the floor here, just a little bit. And turning radius, guys, this truck is freaking large. It's pretty decent. The potholes here in South Florida, this truck just goes over like nothing. And this truck is really good. So you can basically make this truck go off-road if you would like. Like I mentioned, you do have a locking diff, so really good to basically take this vehicle off-roading. But overall, if you guys are looking for a large pickup truck that can fit your family and tow lots of weight behind it, the F-250 would be a really good option. Starting price here for the Ford F-250 with the Tremor package is at $52,730 with the options and accessories including destination. The Ford F-250 stickers for $81,730. Hope you guys have enjoyed this review here. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at DriveOnReviews and hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you all in the next review.